Now let us go to this another Veda is what is called Samaveda. Rig Veda is a collection of mantras and Samaveda is a collection of chants. And Samaveda is purely collection of samans. We call them as chants, and these chants were derived from 8th and 9th parts of Vedas. And the hymns or incantations in Samaveda have musical notes that have distinctive lessons. And David Farley, a very famous Vedic researcher, he compared that if Rig Veda is the word, then Samaveda is its meaning. If Rig Veda is the knowledge, then Samaveda is realization. If Rig Veda is wife, then Samaveda is husband. So this is what this is how David Farley compared Rig Veda and Samaveda. Samaveda was mainly meant for the priests who perform certain rituals at the time of religious ceremonies. And in Samaveda we can find the priesthood regulations especially, or and in Samaveda we can find the great emphasis on the sounds of mantras, and in Samaveda we can find the sounds of mantras that affect on environment and the persons who live in that environment. That's what Samaveda believes. And Samaveda is called the book of chants. And the third Veda is what is called Yajur Veda. And if Rig Veda is a book of mantras, Samaveda book of summons or chants, and Yajur Veda book of rituals. And in order to meet certain ceremonial or religious rituals, and the priests are supposed to perform certain rituals. And this Yajur Veda, it's like a guide for priests to perform various rituals at the time of birth and at the time of death, or between birth and death. And Yajur Veda helps the priests to perform or to spell out some of the mantras and at the time of sacrificial rituals, sacrificial acts. And these hymns in Yajur Veda are attributed to various gods, and many chants in Yajur Veda for the purpose of praying or for the purpose of offering prayers to various gods. And the last Veda among all Vedas is what is called Atharvana Veda. Some scholars do not consider it as a part of Vedas, but some scholars consider it is as part of Vedas. And Atharvana Veda is what is called book of spell. Rig Veda is a book of mantras. Samaveda is a book of summons or chants. Yajur Veda is a book of rituals. And Atharvana Veda is a book of spells. And Atharvana Veda is so called wisdom of other ones, and the last Vedas among 4 Vedas, and it is considered next to Rig Veda with regard to history and sociology. And it consists of spells and charms that represent the Vedic society, especially in terms of history and in terms of sociology. It considered to be the next to Rig Vedic society. And this is a brief analysis of 4 Vedas, and book of mantras, book of chants, book of rituals, and book of spell. Now let's go to the concept of authors of Vedas. It means who wrote all the Vedas. I think I said in my previous video that we do not know we don't know who wrote the authors or who composed Vedas. But however, there are some research notes on the composers of Vedas, and Vedas are passed to from one generation to another generation from time to time only through mouth. It means through oral communication. It is said that it was gods who transferred Vedas to human beings. all the Vedas were written in the form of Vedic Sanskrit language, and it's a God's language, people believe generally. It is said that Vedas are taught to sages by gods, and these sages, they pass these Vedas to the next stages like that. So this happened in the history. And it is said that Vyasa Krishna Dwapayana, who was one of the key composers during Mahabharata, or during the time of Lord Krishna, who composed some of the hymns in Vedas. So this is the authors of Vedas. Now let's go to the divisions of Vedas. All the Vedas are subdivided or divided into several categories. It means are divided 4 parts. The first part is what is called Samhitas. It means hymns or mantras. The second part is what is called Brahmanas. It means rituals or ritualistic texts. The third part is what is called Aranyakas, theologies. It means forest life, ascetic life, brahmacharyam. So this is what is called absence from some sort of worldly pleasure. So becoming free from pleasure and pain, and reclusive life and renouncing life. And the fourth part is what is called Upanishads. It's philosophy of Vedas. So the philosophy, so it's a Vedanta. So in order to understand Vedas, we need to understand Upanishads. So these are the 4 parts of Vedas. So division. So all the Vedas are divided into 4 categories. Samhitas, we call them as mantras. The second one is what is called Brahmanas. We call them as rituals, so ritualistic text. Third one is Aranyakas, forest text, ascetic life, or absence from material pleasures, or renouncing life, or reclusive life. And fourth one is what is called Upanishads, philosophies, and this is called Vedanta text. End of Vedanta contains the essence of Vedic teachings or Vedic doctrines. So these are the divisions of Vedas. Now let's go to the another concept, what is called Bharatiya scriptures. All the Indian scriptures are divided into several categories. If you look at from whole point of view, that all the Bharatiya scriptures are divided into 4 categories like Vedas. Again Vedas, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharvana Veda. Again all the Vedas are divided several, for example Upavedas are Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandhara Veda, Shilpa Veda, Ardha Veda, and again we have Vedangas, Vyakarana, Jyotisha, Nirukta, Siksha, Chanda, Kalpa. And Darshana Shastra, the second division of Bharatiya scriptures is what is called Dharma Shastras or Darshana Shastras. And these Darshana Shastras are Nyaya Shastra, Samkhya Shastra, Yoga Shastra, Vaisheshika Shastra, Mimamsa, Vedanta. The third category of Bharatiya scriptures were called Puranas. There are 18 Puranas. Example Bhagavata Purana, Matsya Purana, Brahma Purana, Sthala Purana, like that. And the fourth category of Bharatiya scriptures is what is called Itihasas. They are Ramayana, Mahabharata, and generally. So these are the divisions of all Bharatiya scriptures. So far we discussed the concept of Vedas. Yesterday we discussed introduction to essence of Indian traditional knowledge, the syllabus, and we discussed the concept of Vedas, the importance of Vedas, and we have discussed Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharvana Veda, and the divisions of Vedas like Brahmanas, Aranyakas, or Upanishads and Samhitas. And the whole Bharatiya scriptures are divided in several categories like Vedas, Darshana Shastras, Puranas, or Itihasas. Thank you.